If you've been selling for a while, or even if you've just started selling on eBay, then you've probably already encountered this. So today's video, we're going to be talking about, yes, Virginia, there is such a thing as bad buyers, almost said bad sellers. There are those too. So join me and let's talk a little bit about this. So, hi everybody, I'm Jackie Schwartz, owner of my eBay store, which is called Planet Einstein. It's the smart place to shop. So, my channel is probably based a lot on when I grew up, because many of my items are vintage and I seem to be attracted to those items because that's the memory I have of my youth. Many things that are now considered, many of them are approaching close to antiques that my mom had or my grandmother or my great aunts had. So about 7 months ago, my husband and I had a marketing agency that was really impacted badly by COVID, and we decided we needed to pivot and change directions quickly. And one of the things I'd always loved doing was thrifting. My mom and I would go together when I was a little girl. My sister has it in her blood too, and she's a fantastic thrift shopper. I'm trying to get her to join me. But after about 7 months of being underway with our Planet Einstein store, we are doing great, but we are beginning to encounter some of the issues that come along with the realities of dealing and selling and getting money from the public, those people who are going to buy your items. And I want to share with you an experience that just happened this week, but I'll tell you, we've really been fortunate. We have earned the status of a top seller, top rated seller on eBay, which is quite an accomplishment, and we're really proud of that. We've worked hard for it. And as something as simple as a couple of buyers giving you a negative rating can blow all that up in a heartbeat. And that's kind of what happened this week. Although I was going to share with you, we've only had 3. They weren't negative. We've only had 1 negative rating in the 7 months we've had our eBay store. And this one came this week. So let me share with you what happened and why it will be important for you. If you haven't encountered it yet, good for you, but my guess is that it will happen, so be ready for it. If you are selling on eBay and haven't had a single thing go wrong, gosh, are you lucky? So get ready. It's gonna happen. And when it does happen, prepare yourself for what to do. So in today's video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. What should you do? And did I do the right thing? Obviously, I believe I did, because our negative rating was removed, and we have what was a very unhappy customer that turned into a friendly transaction, and we parted ways, not as enemies, which is a good thing. So here's what happened. I sold an item that we had in our basement that I bought about 5 years ago from TJ Maxx. It was a really cute picnic cooler bag. It was insulated so you could put cold things and ice in it to keep things chilled when you go on a picnic. It had little straps that were canvas. Anyway, it's been in a cardboard box in the basement, as I said, for about 5 years. I bought it for Max because it had little woody cars, you know, the station wagon, the old time, I guess 40s or 50s, the woodies were the thing. Well, it had little images of those woodies all over it. It zipped up, and it even had a bottle opener hooked to the side. So I went, Max, I gave this to you 5 years ago. We've never used it. I think we should sell it on eBay. So that's what I did. And it sold like within 2-3 days, maybe even faster than that. And I was thrilled. I priced it at a really fair price. I think I priced it at $16, and then I offered somebody who was watching 10% off, and they bought it. So a couple of days later, I was looking at our feedback. This is where your buyers give you a rating for their experience with you, and saw the feedback and our negative rating from this particular buyer. And my heart just sunk, because I'm going, what's this going to do to our top rated, top seller status? So my first inclination, that fight or flight reaction our body automatically just does upon instinct. My first reaction, I must confess, was, I'm going to fight this. This is unfair. There is no smoke in the basement. We do not smoke in the house. Nobody smokes in our house. I don't know how there was any way that her comment that the bag reeked of smoke, I had to throw it away. And I'm going, well, number one, you don't throw something away if you want your money back on it. And number two, there's no way it could have smelled of smoke. So I went, I'm going to fight. That's wrong. Maybe they're just trying to scam me on this by saying I threw it away. Then I would give in and say, okay, then don't worry about sending it back if in fact you put it in the garbage. But the more I thought about it, I considered what my options were, and I calmed down a little bit and went, okay, I have two options. I can fight the buyer, and even if I win, I lose, because I'm still going to have an unhappy buyer on my hand, and she probably will not be inclined to remove her negative rating. So the first thing, and the second thing is to just give her a refund, apologize, and move on. So my first action was I contacted the buyer and said, that I'm really sorry, and I was sorry that she was disappointed with the bag. I did not ever mention the smoke smell. I was not going to argue with her that there was no way it could smell like smoke, because there is no smoke in our house. So I said, what can I do to help make this right for you? Whatever you want, we'll be willing to do. So I waited for the response from her, and she said, I've already thrown the bag away because I tried to clean it and couldn't get the smell out. Anyway, I said, okay, fine. And she said, whatever refund you feel like is fair. So I thanked her in my next response and said, we would like to give you a full refund, including what you paid for shipping, in return for your removing the negative rating that you gave us. And I said, does that sound fair to you? I was very polite, very nice to her, and she was back to me. So there was no argument, there was no antagonism, there was no fight. So that's when I said, we will give you a refund, including the shipping cost that you paid in return. As soon as you remove the negative rating, then we will give you the refund. Well, she agreed to do that. She didn't know how to do the removal of the negative rating, so I sent her instructions for how to do that, and she immediately removed the negative rating. And actually, she wrote a positive rating, something about, she appreciated the communication that we had, and that, we responded to her request. So that's how it concluded. We then notified eBay to send the refund, which they did immediately. So that is how we resolved the problem. One of the things to remember, and I want you to remember this, it is not worth your reputation. It is not worth having a bad rating to win a fight with a buyer. And eBay usually sides with the buyer anyway, because they want happy buyers who will continue to come back and continue buying from the eBay platform. This one, again, I could have fought. I don't know if I would have won the battle about the smoke smell, or I would have lost the battle. But either way, if I fought, I would have lost, because I would still have that negative rating. So there were two other people who had returns. We had one break, which was unfortunate because it was an item that I loved and the buyer loved. I take that back. We've had two items that had breakage, and it happens. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos on Facebook about the delivery guys pitching the boxes into the truck. I think maybe that's a real depiction of what happens. But anyway, the two that we had that were returns that were not justified, and again, we did not fight it, we just refunded their money, and both of them, the reason for their return was that it didn't fit. Well, guess what the item was? It wasn't clothes, it wasn't shoes, it was pots and pans. So I don't know how pots and pans don't fit. I don't often wear my pots and pans, do you? I'm sorry, that it just really struck me funny, and how absurd that somebody would say a pot and pan didn't fit. The other one that was returned because it didn't fit was a ginger jar, a ceramic oriental looking ginger jar with a lid on it. It didn't fit. We returned their money and we moved on. So keep that in mind when the hair on the back of your neck stands up and you're going, I'm gonna fight this. It is just not worth it in time and money and peace of mind, because it is much too energy draining and time consuming to get into a battle that you are probably going to lose anyway. So consider it the cost of doing business and be ready for it when it happens, and stay calm and cool, and don't respond when you're in anger mode. Let the dust settle a little bit, think through it, then respond and say, what is it you would like? How can we fix this? What would you like for me to do? And chances are they will tell you something that's reasonable. Obviously, if it's totally unreasonable, then maybe you have some more room for additional conversation. So, alrighty, I am going to continue doing some sort of learning, teaching video for you each week, and my goal at this point is to deliver those on Thursdays. So I'll post a new learning video for eBayers who either are brand new or are still kind of new and still in learning mode, although I think you're always in learning mode. The platform changes. There have been quite a few changes in the 7 months I have been doing this. Going from a marketing strategist to an eBay seller was a major switch in direction and in thought process, but there's always something new to learn. So if you feel like this video was of value to you and you would like to see more, please like this channel. There's a little thumbs up symbol over there. If you didn't like it, then just don't come back. Because, even if you give me a thumbs down, that's okay. I will know this video wasn't liked, but I hope that you found value in it. Give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, then subscribe to the channel, and you just hit the little subscribe button, and you will see a video every week that's going to help you sell more on eBay. So again, I'm Jackie Schwartz with Planet Einstein eBay store, and thanks for being with me. See you next time. Bye for now.